Conversation here with Sarah Ashley. We're going live on YouTube or on Instagram right now. If anybody has questions, you can either join us on the Zoom, which you guys see the link there, or come play with us on Instagram.
All the places.
Choose a social media platform and search for the Angel of Abundance, and you'll be like, oh, there's a live video going on.
I love that name.
There's a cool, thank you. There's a cool backstory behind that. Not self-given. It was given to me by others. They were like, this is what you're going to be known as. My spiritual guides actually want me to pass this message on to you. This is what's you're going to be referred to as. I was like, I like that. Let me see if that's available on Instagram.
That is.
Right? She asked me, she was like, Noelle, my guides want me to pass a message on to you. Is that okay? And I was like, yeah. any sentence that starts with that, like, please, whatever it is. And she was like, yeah. She was like, they want me to share with you that you're going to be known as the Angel of Abundance for all the stuff that you're doing with, because I have a community, Universal Abundance and different stuff. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm on, do you see me on IG Live? Join me. And then when we're both on IG, the only sound, this is the reason I had to get the headphones, the only sound that we'll hear, because we're going to mute the sound coming out of our computers, but we're going to still be recording it with these headphones for the actual podcast. But we'll hear each other on IG. Hey guys, getting ready to do a fun, enlightened conversation here with Sarah. She's joining me right now. They're all fun. So referring to this one as a fun one is just an additional fun. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Okay, so I just muted my computer, so all I can hear you on is the phone. And then visually, I'll probably make eye contact with you, probably in the phone since you're looking at it, or wherever.
Okay, got it.
I'll play with you guys over on the other places too. All right, let's do it. Hit and record.
I've never done this before.
You've never done a IG Live?
No, first one.
Fun.
Actually, yeah, first one.
Very nice. They're continuing to make advances, and now you can save it on your IGTV. So once the people were like quarantined in, I started giving people a chance to tune in live, because it's like, why not? Like, if somebody gets one thing from this, and you guys ask questions, let me tag you here in the IG post live with, you're at Sarah Ashley Wheeler, yeah?
Yeah.
At Sarah Ashley Wheeler. I gotta give your description, your energy queen description. I like that. Energy queen. Ask questions if inspired. All right, let's do it. Questions. Boom. Pen. Okay. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Enlightened Conversations here live from Miami, and have my guest here. We have Sarah Ashley, who is in Scottsdale, Arizona, beautiful part of the United States, country club area, just a beautiful part of the country, and excited to vibe with her today. Ashley, I came across her Instagram page not too long ago, and I said, "Who's this?" It said the Energy Queen. I was like, already speaking my language. Anybody that is sharing good vibes, and I told her, I left her a voice message immediately and said, "Love the love and light you're sharing with the world," and asked her if she wanted to come have a fun conversation with me. And here we are today. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Sarah, and if you could share with the audience so they're more familiar with you, who you are, what you do, why you do it, all these good things.
Yeah, so Sarah Ashley, Energy Queen, obviously. So what I do is activate people's spiritual gifts. And how I do that is I can basically see your soul blueprint, and then I go in and I just turn on using that language and your soul language and all of that, which is really fun. And then what we do is, once you have your purpose and your passion and your spiritual gifts turned on, then we go and we create the retreats and the events and the spiritual business out of it, which is really, really fun. That's what I do.
I love it. Anytime I'm talking to anybody, Sarah, that is passionate about what they do and loving what they do, and obviously this is something that it's obvious that you discovered and started doing for you, and you're like, I want to help other humans, like, do this, discover their spiritual gifts. And I would like to ask, because people see us like playing in these like fun energies, label it whatever you want, like they're just enjoying having a fun conversation, whatever you want to label it out there. We're just labeling energy. However, I'm always curious, because I know all of us come here to Earth as little unconditional, loving little babies, and for most of us, may forget along the way who we truly are. Maybe we're wondering why that 5-year-old is like 7 inches taller than me. Like, what's going on? Or why do they have the answers in class and we don't? Or whatever our excuse might be to question our worthiness. But how did it work for you? Did you go from unconditional, loving little baby to the beautiful being we see in front of us today? Or were there some moments where Sarah forgot who she was and had to evolve, and then all of a sudden it was like, ooh, this is awesome?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was the unnurtured child. So I see this twofold. So you're either, I believe, you come in very nurtured, learning love, right? Or you come in over nurtured. And my birthing story, I was 4 months premature. I weighed 1 pound 5 ounces, had a 1 to 2% chance of living. And so through that process of, I feel like I've just been surviving my whole life, right? Instead of going on the other end and like really thriving. And so I had to really like do a lot of inner child work and really dive into all of that. Like, oh my gosh, like, wait a minute, I feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulder. Like, why did I survive and my twin did not survive, right? And so through that led a very big question of like, why am I actually here? What's my purpose? What am I doing on this earth plane, right? And so I found energy work, I found healing. I just really basically wanted to know myself in the mirror. I'm like, who the hell are you? Not who everyone else thinks you are, not your family conditionings, not what the world says, not your dyslexic abilities in school. Like, who the hell are you? Right? And so I asked myself that question probably 8 years ago now, and it just unlocked all my spiritual gifts. I went into the energy healing world. I went into the coaching world, like all of that. And I'm like, oh, I'm just who I say that I am. So let me go rewrite the story of the version of me in the mirror. So let's try that.
I like it.
That does.
What that does, it turns Sarah into what you're seeing today and evolving forever. That question of, I am what I say I am, powerful. Like, let's have to rewind that. And if you missed that, if you guys were not present, if you were like, I'm going to do all these things while listening to the podcast today, rewind and listen to that segment again, because it's so important. And all the contrast that you experience just, from early in life, being born prematurely, losing a twin, like just even stuff that, consciously, like you had to realize, like, whoa, like it was like, obviously you don't have, maybe you do, but most have memories of like, being born, or like the first memories of, having a twin there with you. I mean, maybe you can feel energetically, but I think it's awesome. Like the question that you asked, to just be open, which opens us up. And I'm always so excited for anyone. And that's why I like to ask that question, as far as like how someone basically has the light bulb come back on, as far as remembering who we all truly are. Because then from that point, it's just a matter of, now you have the awareness. And so the choice becomes yours once we have the awareness. But the choice is like, does it matter to you? Because if it matters to you, like evolving and allowing yourself to have your consciousness raised, and, to be able to evolve while you're here, if you're doing that consciously, then you'll practice. And then if you practice, it's just like you're just going to evolve on purpose, get better at the things where maybe 5 years ago you weren't, as good at. Maybe you were beating yourself up hard on yourself. Maybe you were just like critical of yourself, judging others, like who knows? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing this, but it's a dramatically different life experience for someone that is like aware of that. And it's like, ooh, I could feel better than this. Like I'm going to instead practice being this way. The life experience, the life shift in all areas of life is dramatic. So I love how you highlighted that. And jump in anytime I say anything. Then you're like, oh, I want to comment on that too. Like this will have as many questions as are needed. I have questions, but I don't always ask them. So, but for you, Sarah, like when you, go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I think like we're here to undo all of this stuff, right? We're here to undo the lineage line, ancestor line, like all the things essentially. But then you're left with what, right? Like it's kind of like you're here to undo all of the bullshit, essentially. But then when you unentangle through all of those entangles, then you're like, oh, I know what I'm here for. Here's my purpose. Yes, but then that comes responsibility. Now you gotta go do something. So it's like we spend our whole lives surviving, and then we find the thing that we're actually here that lights our soul up, right? And then now you have a choice point. So one of the questions that I ask myself is, am I actually fully living in my potential right now on a scale of 0 to 10? Like, where am I actually at? Where am I at? Not based on anyone else's standards, not based on the things that I think in my head, but where am I fueling that energy? Like, where am I actually at on my soul path? And I think a lot of confused and a lot of like, oh my gosh, I gotta be over here and I gotta get through this and I gotta achieve all these things and I gotta help the millions of people right now and I gotta activate my gifts and do all these things, right? But then let's just ask the question, like, are you actually ready for that? Can you step into that? Because you can search all the live on day, but then it would even like opening Pandora's box. Here you go. Here's the one thing that you've been searching for all your life, and it's right here. Now what?
I love this. I love this. I'm gonna give you guys some peace out there too. And anything I say, just like take with you what you want, leave here what you don't want. But because I love what you're saying, Sarah, and I want to give some clarity for you guys out there when it comes to like, you're not responsible for any of this. Like, you don't have to do any of this. Like, you're not required to do any of this. There's no being in the sky saying, if you don't step into your gifts and do this, like, let's get rid of you. Like, we don't even need you. We don't even need you energetically anymore. Like, it's just like, that's not in existence. Yeah. So what Sarah's describing, which is so beautiful, because all of us, when we decide to incarnate in these physical avatars, mine's called Noelle, yours is called Sarah, yours is called whatever it is that you call yours out there. We knew that by coming here to this physical earth plane, that there was going to be things that we can smell, taste, touch. There's going to be like situations that were maybe difficult to deal with. And all of these things were going to allow us to evolve. Our souls were going to evolve in a evolving universe. Like, all that is, like, we're living in an evolving, like, never-ending, like, expansive universe. And we're just fractals of that. We're microcosms of that expanding universe. So we knew that coming here we would do that. And then at the same time, because we're physical and we can, have thoughts that turn into, to actions that turn into physical manifestations, we were going to add to all that is. So we're going to evolve. We're going to add to all that is by being here. Now, whether we do that like joyfully and like enjoying the whole journey of it, optional. Like, you get to choose that out there. You could also do the whole thing like super painfully the whole way, like leave the house every day and rage and like cussing people out and be like, damn, like, it's so drama, like everybody's like against me. Could have that mentality. You're going to evolve. You're going to add to all that is also. Maybe it's not some things that we want to experience. Maybe it's hate. Maybe it's, inequalities and all these things. However, what Sarah is describing is so beautiful, because the life journey of, I'm discovering who I truly am. I'm seeing that I'm drawn to these spiritual gifts. I'm seeing that I'm more drawn to this part of life than, some other parts, because, in truth, all of us, you see somebody out there doing something awesome, you can put attention and energy on and become more awesome at that, but we're not all drawn to the same thing. So maybe someone out there is like, a medium and connecting with people that have already left these physical avatars, and you're like, that just sounds way out there. That might not be your path. It's probably not. But for them, like, that is what, like, it's like their spirit is like, let me explore this. And then they practice it, and then they become, what we see. And so I love what you're doing, because the journey is so joyful when you know who you truly are, first and foremost, because without that, it's just, and then also to actually live into your spiritual gifts. Now we're living on purpose and living like passionately and living, actually knowing we're adding to all that is consciously on purpose. It's a fun life to live. So I love what you're doing. Like, how do you step into this to where you go from discovering for yourself and then all of a sudden, like, I got to help people with this?
I mean, other than just pure choice, so like, this is what I'm just going to do. Here's the thing. So I had asked myself that question. I went into corporate, did the corporate thing while finding myself, I guess you could say, and I asked myself a question. I said, if I don't do this, then what? If I don't help these people that there's just like a little pull to help, then what? Then they're not getting my gifts. Shit, and if they don't get my gifts and they don't get my work that I'm beyond being in the corporate world. I'm like, that's not really vibe. Okay, let me try this thing over here, right? And then that's like where you're on that ledge and you're like, I know I need to leave, but one more paycheck at my corporate job. One more paycheck, one more paycheck, one more paycheck. And you're just like, well, now what? Do I follow my soul? Or do I stay? What do I do? Right? So really, the answer is simple. It's a choice. What's going to be more fulfilling? What path can it? Because we're on two paths right now. You're either being dragged right now or you're being pulled by your soul. That's it.
Mm.
Where are you at? But you have a choice point on any given path to just, I want to redirect my life. Okay, great. If you're 60 years old and you want to redirect your life, okay, great. Like, you're not running out of time to do what you came here to do. And in fact, you're always doing what you came here to do because your soul's doing it regardless, right? Your soul's already shining its light. It's already leaving that fairy dust of energy with every single person that you come into contact with. Okay, great. Then how do you want to amplify that?
So beautiful. Your illustrations, Sarah, are awesome. Like you just said something as far as we're either being dragged by life or pulled by our soul. Like, it's beautifully. I heard years ago. I heard Michael Beckwith, who has the Agape Spiritual Center in Los Angeles. And the first time I ever heard something similar, I mean, it's saying the same thing, but just using different words. He said, you're either going to, pain is going to push you until your vision pulls you. And, it's just like some of us out there right now are comfortably uncomfortable doing what we're doing. Like I tried the corporate world energy on too, Sarah, and that was a far stretch from my little kid vision of I'm going to be a professional athlete. Like, this is just 100%. Like, this is like from the time I was 2 to 21, it was just like there was no plan B. Like, this is for sure what I'm doing. And all the evidence suggested that I was going in that direction. But that wasn't like my path. Like, that wasn't what I was here to do, because there's so many other things now that I'm doing that if I would have done that, I wouldn't. But my point is, trying energy on for size. I love that because where we are right now, for everybody out there, like, there's things that you're experiencing, life experiences, all of your life experiences that are serving you for things that tomorrow's not promised, but will serve you tomorrow and a year from now when you get there, and all of these things. And I'm like, damn, if I wasn't in that corporate environment and learn how to have good conversations with people on the phone and, good, customer service, all these things, I wouldn't be the Noel that I am today. And that goes for all of us. Take away any of our life experiences and you're just not the same human. So you have to go experience another life experience in order for you to have that lesson, for you to be able to have that clarity and to be able to have that desire that you have right now. And it's all valuable. It's all super serving us. So I love it so much.
Thanks. What else? Another question. Yeah.
You're awesome. I have unlimited questions for you. So what have you been talking about a lot with your either clients or yourself? Actually, I kind of want to know that even more. Like, what you're saying to yourself is just like flowing out into your clients. But what's been your focus as we record this? We're July 2020. What's been Sarah's focus? What are you paying a lot of attention to right now in your life?
Yeah, so really just stepping into the energy of doing world tours around the world. And I certify people in energy work, and so I'm putting on the energy of taking these events, like facilitator retreats, and going all the way around the world. And I'm just really in that energy. I'm just like, okay, let's go bigger than I've ever gone before, because I'm not afraid of the unknown. And I used to be afraid of the unknown, right? So then I cleared those blocks. I'm just like, wait a minute, if I'm just going to reach for the stars, what do I actually want to create now? Now that I know who I am, now that I've got my spiritual gifts, now that I've built the foundation of my business, what I really feel called to do, really feel called to do. And to even say that out loud, like, I've done 5 retreats in the last 2 years, like, amazing, but I'm like, okay, let me feel into if all the money, all my needs were taken care of, and really feel into that energy, what would I be doing? And that's the image that I saw. I always saw myself on stage. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's lock that in. So
I love it. I love it so much. And so now, like, you found something that you feel really, really good doing 5 retreats in 2 years, and then you're attracting people that they also want to, they see themselves as some version of that, as far as, being able to facilitate and be able to put on retreats and possibly be on stage as well. I love that so much. It's so much more fun, in my opinion, to be able to do all these things, helping people, because it's so simple. Today in 2020, we can help people online and offline. Those are our two choices. And then when it comes to online, it's like we can give information. We can take it further. We can give them access to us, which can, they can answer questions and relate it to their life experience. But then we can do all of that offline, and it's just way more powerful, in my opinion, because I feel like we just, with these screens, like I feel like, we care about each other. We love each other out there, all of us. We love each other and care about each other even more when we can hug each other and like high five and handshake each other. They can do all these things with or without the mask is your choice out there. I won't have one on, so don't come up and give me a hug. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. When I go on any retreat out there, when you see me the next time on any retreat, just know that I'm not going unless I can be totally me and not have to adhere to any of that. I wasn't meaning to just, because to me, when it comes to like current reality with all that stuff, if you tell me I must wear one to go into the gym, like I'm just happy that I can go into the gym. So I'm going to wear it. Like I'm not going to fight you on it. Like I'm just happy that it's open because for 3 months it was closed. So I do what I can do with what I have from where I am and we live from there. So vision for you, Sarah, because if you guys have any questions, I highly recommend it because me and Sarah are just flowing here and I'm just having fun like vibing with her. Her name is the Energy Queen. So, I mean, if you've paid any attention to my page, like all I care about, Sarah, is what's my vibe, energy, frequency, mood, vibration now. I don't care about anything else. Everything else just is a launching point from that. That's what I'm going to see, and what all of us are going to see on the movie screen of life is going to be a launching point from current moment, vibration, energy, frequency, mood. So, we have for you. How important is this? Is such a funny question to even ask. How important is your energy to you? And what would you say to humans out there like? This is why my energy is important to me. This is why I call myself the Energy Queen. And this is what energy could do for you if you are aware of these things.
I mean, is that a question?
I mean, you know it, but somebody out there might not.
Here's the thing. Get rid of all the woo. Get rid of all just the basic of, what you and I know, what we vibe with. At the end of the day, your vibes are everything. They're attracting what you're doing, right? Your thoughts, feelings, frequency, emotions, that's what you're actually attracting in the world, right? And so being able to know that, being able to step into that, being able to be like, oh wait a minute, I'm actually creating my reality. Let's play, let's be light, let's not be so heavy in the world. That's what energy is, right? So I spent so long waking up every single day, not wanting to get out of bed, not feeling like I had a purpose. I'm like, I gotta shift something. Right? I gotta shift my energy. I gotta shift what I'm thinking about. I gotta shift what I'm putting out into the world. I'm tired of this, right? Oh my gosh, I'm hella rolled, and that's not the vibe. So let me go and be in the vibes that I actually want, right? And to me, it just feels like light. Like, Energy Queen, you can call me whatever you want, but at the end of the day, do you feel or not feel light? Do you feel weighed down every single day? Or, where are your vibes actually at?
Absolutely. I love it. Just pay attention to them out there, everybody out there. Does it matter to you? That's my question to humans. I'm playful about it. You're aware of this now. You're aware of different things, but does it matter to you? If it doesn't matter to you, again, you're just willing to wake up on the wrong side of the bed. We've all done it. We've all been there. And you're just willing to just go through the day like this. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. Forget that. I'm good with that. I've had plenty of those days. I'm sure we all have. So for me, I've gotten in the habit of waking up and I want to be grateful when I wake up for any reason. And I won't even tell you some of the reasons that, it could be something so silly, something so simple that I can wake up and be like, I'm just grateful, I'm just thankful for this. And this is going to be, adventurous day. I don't know what today is going to look like in totality. I have some things planned. And at the same time, there's so many things that are synchronistically going to happen because life is just one ongoing synchronicity. We can't predict any of this stuff. So, if we get
let's break that down.
Yeah.
What's the energy of gratitude, appreciation, and love? Can you actually feel that even for 2.5 seconds? That would completely raise your vibration.
Absolutely.
Right? I want to wait. What you just said, I just want to wake up and be grateful. You're putting on the light energy. That's what you're doing. But that's a choice.
Choice, for sure.
Right?
100%. I gave myself so much credit a few weeks ago during the quarantine. They were doing construction here in my building. They're still doing it. I actually hear it in the background right now, but I'm so used to it. Like they're doing construction at the pool, and like it's 90 degrees in Miami. Pool's closed. It is what it is. The beach is right there though, so it's all good. But side note to that is when I found myself getting woken up by construction at the beginning of it, and I still had a smile on my face. I was like, damn, I actually feel rested right now. Like, so be it. Like I wasn't using an alarm clock to get up, but this construction basically served as that. So, but I'm up now, and I'm up a little earlier than I thought, and now I actually have an extra hour to do some things that I didn't know if I was going to be able to get to today. So it was just so many things that and it's momentum. And this is what I want to point out for everybody, because energy never stays stagnant for any of us. Like whenever we talk about energy, and I like even how you mentioned, to not sound so woo-woo. We used to have to preface things with that, but now it's kind of like we don't even have to, because in 2020, we can measure all this stuff. Like I've been to events where I've seen the energy from my brain being measured and the energy from my heart being measured, and 200 people that just came out of a meditation were like, this is the energy of the room right now. Like, oh, so science, like, yeah, exactly. So science is like, it's far from what we used to, 20 years ago. I wasn't talking about this stuff, but neither were you. Just looking at your age, I'm sure. Maybe you were a little youngster doing some stuff. But but my point is, like, energy not only can be measured, but it's always moving in the moment. And so I just like to pay attention to, is my energy going from, waking up to like anxious, worried about the day, frustrated, that's just going to keep going to where you can be like upset, angry, rageful, powerless, like, damn, this is just a rough day. Or, if you do start the energy of just, I'm just happy to be awake. I'm grateful for anything. And now, you'll notice, and I take it a step further and go meditate for a little bit, because I just like to really just get the feeling of like being who I truly am, being connected with it as early on in the day as possible. And I don't meditate for that long, but it's just until I feel good. And then I start the day. And then what happens for all of us when the momentum, because you're not guaranteed to stay there. None of us are permanently in a good mood. Like, it's just, nobody's permanently anything. Like, energy's always moving. But you'll notice if you go from like being grateful to being anxious, it's a way different feeling. But if you just wake up and go right to being, anxious, not saying there's anything wrong with that, but will you even notice it? Is there just going to be another one of those days? So that's my challenge for everybody out there, is just to purposely do it, and then you'll notice it. And if you notice it and it matters to you, then you'll practice. Then life will change.
Yeah. I like to actually like call in the frequency that I want, right? So I'll just like put on happiness, and I'll just kind of like start kind of just like hanging out in my head, and I just call in that frequency, and then I just see it just like kind of spinning around my field. And oh my gosh, that alone, it's just like ding, 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 ding.
I like that.
Any word that you want. Joyful, happiness, upliftment, clarity, confidence, courage. You're tuning yourself like you're like XM Sarah radio. You're just deciding what frequency you want to be on, and like, let me tune my device, this physical avatar. Let me tune my being to that and turn into the frequency. Yeah, that's awesome practice, because I mean, you know this. Like, I love discovering frequencies that maybe, especially like, because we're talking about momentum again. So I love knowing that there's frequencies that exist for all of us that we've never felt before. Like, none of us have felt as good as we possibly can feel. Like, none of us have ever had as much fun as we can possibly have. Like, there's more to it. There's more there for all of us. So it's awesome when you do discover frequencies and can tune into them like Sarah just described, because not only can she get there, but as she's present to doing whatever it is that she's doing, momentum can carry her frequency to another place. She's like, damn, like, just because I went to this activity that I know I love to do, but I didn't go to the activity needing the activity to feel in this good mood, in this happy place. I was already happy before going to do the activity. And so what the activity did, because I'm just present to it, I'm not thinking about what I need to do later, or should I be having so much fun right now, or so much work I have to do. Forget all that. You're present to it. And so the momentum will carry you to a place where it's like, damn, like, what do I label this? I already was feeling like blissful, but I guess this is something else. And this is how like frequency, like, and energy works for all of us. It's just enjoy it. But you can't get there if you're like needing that to feel that. You just, you'll get there for a second because of the external thing. And as soon as the external thing is gone, then unfortunately you're going to be back to not feeling so good. So don't need the energy, and then just be it. Don't need the external thing. Just be it. Be the energy. And then the external things will just add to it. That's just a side note.
You're awesome,
Yeah.
Sarah.
Thank you.
You're awesome. Anything that you want to share as far as, because I only think of the things that I'm in tune with to think about to ask you. So if there's anything that you want to share with the audience, whether they're hearing this live right now or 50 years from now, I just want them to know this. I always love to just see whatever flows out, but you've been doing it the whole time. So easily rewind and listen to Sarah's whole conversation for any of this. But anything you want to share?
Yeah, honestly, I just feel like right now, really, 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 if you could do anything, pay attention to your self-talk.
Mm.
And what I like to do is kind of like tune into the next 30 days. And I'm like, what is that version of me thinking and feeling? Right? And then I just kind of align my thoughts to that. I'm like, oh, she would be thinking this. She would be doing this. This is how she would be acting, right? Because I know, especially right now, and of course we can talk about astrology, we can go into all the blue, but the basic, if I can keep it very grounded, is pay attention to your self-talk. And a lot of times it's like, oh, I'm just focused on this thing, and I kind of want to expand your awareness just a little bit and really think about that future self and ask that future self, like, hey, what are you really focused on right now? Like, you are all intuitive. You all have the beautiful Christmas gift of being intuitive, and that's what I would challenge you to do, is like, if I could just really expand my awareness, are my current thoughts over the last 24 hours, what path are they leading me on? Are they leading me down that path where I've been drugged this whole year, or are they leading me down the path where I'm being pulled? And it's just little tiny changes like that. It's not big changes. I don't need you to go journal your life away. I don't need you to go fix anything. I just need you to just change some little tiny things, right? I'm not going to be one of those coaches and mentors that's like, yeah, you're broken. Yay, here, come to this thing. Ain't about that. You ain't fucking broken.
True story. True story. I love it. Great advice. Great advice. And here's why you want to do what Sarah just said, and just pay attention to self-talk. Because your thoughts, whatever's going on in your mind right now, or your words, if you're saying it out loud, like if you're like, find yourself saying something that's not so nice to yourself or to someone else, most of the time when you're speaking out loud, maybe some of us beat ourselves. I'm sure I beat myself up out loud before, just by myself, not around people who are like, Noel is fucking insane. But just, but regardless, if it's coming out in words, then words are a reflection of thoughts. And if it's inside of our mind, if it's bouncing around our head in thoughts are a reflection of vibration, of energy. Like, none of us are ever going to have a happy thought if we're like in a depressed energy right now. Not going to happen. And vice versa. Like, you're not going to have a depressed thought, but you're like, damn, I'm so happy, but I'm having all these thoughts of rage and anger. Like, that's not going to happen. It has to be a match. So it's a good indicator of where you're being. And so I love the simple question that Sarah is having, you guys become aware of, because if you're paying attention to it and it matters to you, you're like, oh yeah, the last day is like, there's been a lot of this, like this self-talk that I've had. So my energy, like, yeah, it's been feeling, like, you can feel it in the body. Like, it's just not just like we're labeling a feeling, like when we're talking about energy. And so that's such good advice. And that starts with, I mean, if we can change the stories that we're telling ourselves, the self-talk that we're having, then we can change our whole life. Like, it's beautiful. I love the awareness piece. Anything that gives people awareness is like, it makes me so happy, because now the choice is yours. So
Yeah.
I love it so much.
And I think I was always trying to fine-tune from the moment of where I was. Like, if I really think back, like, come on, we've been talking shit about ourselves all of our life. Let's just be honest. We're the ones that beat ourselves up so that no one beats us up, right? So that we just take it on, so it's easier to hear it from our brain than someone else's, right? As protection. So when I was trying to fine-tune my thoughts, it was always just where I was at. And I'm like, I gotta figure out a different way of doing this. So what I started doing is that I really started expanding my mind and my energy to being like, where's the version of where I actually want to go? And let me fine-tune my thoughts to that. So it kind of just like brings you up an octave. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just go, you just bring more light to it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. What Sarah just like so elegantly described is how you physically manifest anything that you want. By basically, she's just deciding, like, how would the version of Sarah in this state of health, or this relationship, or this financial, or this anything that matters in your life, how would the energy of that version of Sarah be? So she's becoming the vibration, she's becoming the thing energetically. And then so the physical things have to follow the energy. Like it doesn't happen the other way around. Like you don't get to, oh, I'll be happy when syndrome. Like, oh, I'm gonna go make all this stuff happen. So then I'll be happy. It just doesn't work that way. So what Sarah just described is like taking it up a couple octaves. Like, okay, I am where I am right now. Like where I am right now is just a accumulation of past thoughts, energy, action, all this stuff. So where I'm going is totally a different place because, yeah, I appreciate where I am now, and at the same time, I'm excited to see life evolve in all these ways. So just embodying that energy now is always a choice for all of us, and it's just a practice. It's just like that's why visualization is important. That's why journaling is important. It's just like, but not doing it because I'm doing it so that I can get all these results. But it's helping you fine tune and like be what Sarah just described as far as when she can just get an energy, like she's turned herself into like an avatar, like Sarah radio station, so where she can tune to energy. This is important. Like all we're doing as human, we're just trying to describe stuff that is like frequency and energy. So that makes it a little bit complex, but I think you guys understand. You shared some really practical stuff, some good examples of how to do it and what you do and what your flow. And it kind of answers the question that I saw up here as far as how to wake up, how to wake up with energy as far as, many of us wake up based on an alarm and keep snoozing when we wake up and are very lazy, like how to be like in that place where it's like you have energy and you're excited for the day and all that stuff. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, what are you really excited about? Go get excited about something. Go take all that energy and fuel it into something.
That's good. Again, the soul, your soul pulling you, what Sarah described earlier, or your vision pulling you. The pain of the alarm clock will keep pushing you, pushing you out of bed. I've been there. Believe me, I've been there. I've had 80 hours a week that were run by freaking alarm clocks and alarms on my phone and, corporate world and all this stuff. And so that was like pushing me to ask myself, what is it that how would I like to live? Like freedom, fun, fulfillment, all these things like that I started seeing as far as, well, I didn't know how or when or where or any of the answers, but the good news is when we're open to it, we start attracting awesome humans like Sarah into our path where it's like, oh, so I could learn how to do this. I can learn who I am and then also apply it. That's why I love what you're doing, Sarah, and so many people out there that are, because foundationally you're helping people with the most important part is just the remembering who they truly are, but then to be able to apply it into doing things with their time that they are excited about and, creating things like that. Like that's my vision for humanity while I'm here. It's just, imagine if every day, Sarah, everybody woke up and they asked themselves just two questions. What sounds most fun today? And what sounds most fulfilling today? And they just did that. Not, oh, damn, do I have the time or the money to do that? Or, or even worse, questioning, like, am I even worth, am I capable of doing that? Like, that sucks. Like, forget those questions. Like, all of us, again, we're just different expressions of the same energy. So if Sarah can do it, if I can do it, if anybody out there can go live a life where they are doing what's fun for them, what's fulfilling for them, like they're enjoying this beautiful planet that we share, you can too. And that's not cliche at all because the same energy flowing through their body to do it, the same non-physical energy that they're turning into physical form, manifesting, that's the same process of creation for all of us. So there's no special breed of human where only they can do the things that Sarah's describing. That would suck. I wouldn't have this conversation if it was like right off the bat, like 40% of you were like disqualified. We're like, that just sucks for them, but 100% of the people are included in this, what we're saying. So you feel me on that, Sarah?
Yeah, solid.
So much fun. We want them to know anything. If you guys have any other questions, sleeping with a dream and waking up with an aim. Yes, sir. I like it. That's good. Arjuna, I always loving you too. And I already know he's in India. It's so cool what we're doing with people all over the planet tuning in. If you guys have any other questions, say it. But other than that, Sarah, do you want to share with the audience anything that they can participate in with you right now that you have going on or that you have coming up or any of that stuff?
Yeah, I do. I actually have 2 retreats coming up. I have 2 spots left in Colorado next month and then Sedona in September, which is going to be really, really fun. But I just invite you into my free Facebook group. I go in and do monthly prayer healings. We can play, vibe together. We can get to know each other even more. So message me on the Facebooks of the world, the Instagrams of the world, the YouTubes of the world, wherever we're at over here.
I love it. This is for my own personal curiosity, and I think it'll be interesting for the people that hear this recording whenever it comes out on iTunes and all the places. Obviously, get more specifics about Sarah's retreats on, by connecting with her. But as far as your retreats go, paint a quick picture for me as far as what that looks like, as far as what you enjoy about like facilitating them and doing them, because your retreat's going to be different than someone else's, because you're going to lock in on the things that you want to be a part of that, and then expand it to wherever it's expanded. What does it look like for you?
Oh man, they're so fun. They're so fun. So, really getting a group together and the souls that are meant to be there will be there. But it's so fun to just kind of like do some energy attunements or really wake them up or clear some energy blocks or upgrade their whole business or upgrade their whole reality. Like, that's what's fun. So actually, I never have a plan. I mean, I have like an outline, but I vibe with it, and the souls that come, they always quantum leap. Like, my intention for coming to my retreats are, do you want to quantum leap or not? And then we just shift you over there, which is really fun.
I love it. Well, if you're participating, which you're facilitating it, then I know it's awesome, because I could feel the energy that you're living life in and playing with me in this morning, and I appreciate you for that. And I'm affirming that there's some additional co-creations down the path for us, wherever they are, because I already see some things. You've already described some things as far as where your passion lies when it comes to retreats specifically. That I actually want to mention to you off of recording, that I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, let's chat.
Sarah's an awesome human. So, well, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, and you guys definitely connect with Sarah. And if there's any energetic pull to connect with her further, whether it be through retreat or coaching or whatever, highly recommend doing that, because even if I hadn't already spoken to her, I could feel the vibe that Sarah was coming with us, why I invited her to chat. But then taking it a step further, there's some life experience there. If we ever have any type of energetic like curiosity to go experience life doing anything, by experiencing that, you're going to have new life experience, which is going to lead to new like clarity of, ooh, I really like that, or ooh, I want to go in this direction, or ooh, that was interesting, or I may not do that more, but I'm happy that I know about it now, because now I can head in this direction. It's always something there, but if we don't do the life experience, then you're standing in the same place that you were. So there's no new clarity, there's no new focus, there's no new desire, and this is what it is. Not right or wrong for it, but that's how you move your life in different places, by going to experience more life, and then tuning into, ooh, I like this, and this is what I want to experience more of, and tuning into that energy like we've been talking about. So share this episode out there. If you guys are watching this live, hit the share button wherever you are. I appreciate you guys that have been doing that. That's why I'm doing these live for you guys, so that you guys can get impact, right now, here in the moment, versus having to wait. Because if it impacts one of you guys, then it was just worth it. And I knew I was going to have fun with Sarah anyway. So thanks for participating and sharing you guys' energy with us. And then leave a review on iTunes when this comes out, down the road, and say, that's Sarah Human. She's awesome. And I became aware of this, and this, and I'll screenshot it and tag her and all these things, and that'll make everybody feel good, and also make it easy for people to find the episodes. So thank you, Sarah, so much for enjoying life with me this afternoon where I am, and morning where you are, and look forward to any co-creations here that the future holds, and sending you guys all so much love out there whenever you hear this, whether it's right now or 150 years from now, when we all have Neuralink in our brain and can just speak to each other without talking. Look that up if you don't know what that is. I just telepathy on the way. Telepathy on the way. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a beautiful day.
Bye,
Awesome.
guys.
Sarah, stay with me on Zoom. Awesome. Can you hear me? Let me end the live. That was so much fun. You caught me in I've been this way a lot lately. You caught me in just like such a good mood, so I just wanted to happily play with you. I know I ran my mouth a lot on that episode, just like all over the place, but it's kind of how I flow most of the time.
That's good.
You got to go.
Are we still live? No, I don't.
Oh, let me record. Let me stop recording. No, we're done, and I stopped the stream.